What's up, brother?
What's up, Jesse? How are you?
Awesome, dude. How are you doing, my friend?
Where are you? Where are you going?
I'm going to the hospital right now, dude. Uh I've been in, I'll just be honest with you, I've been in the fight of my life for my girl, for my girlfriend, for my fiance. She had an asthma attack a year ago, and she
Oh,
hasn't been able to speak or walk or anything since.
but is she better now?
She's getting better, uh I was told that she was never going to open her eyes again, that she was never going to speak a word, and they were wrong about that. So uh, I take her to hyperbaric chamber treatment uh, twice a week to try to facilitate. Basically the hospital. I'll tell you straight out, the hospital wrote her off. They tried to kill her. I had to sue the first hospital that she was at. I discovered that they were trying to induce cardiac arrest so that they could take her organs. Like it's almost like a science fiction story, dude.
Okay, but are you okay to continue with this interview?
Oh, absolutely, brother. I can juggle because I love rock and roll is my salvation, my friend. And
Okay,
going to
okay.
Mexico is something I have been looking forward to for a long fucking time.
So are you very excited to be here in Mexico? You will be in Festival at Verso in Guadalajara. I can't remember if this will be your first time here in the country.
No, no, it'll be my first time in Guadalajara, but it's not my first time. We've played Mexico City. Um, and in terms of me, I go to Mexico all the time. You know what I'm saying? But this is a big deal for us. It's a headlining slot. It's in a place that we love and that we don't get to come to enough. And after the lockdown, everything, the world's opening back up, and we get to come to Mexico. That's like winning an award, dude.
You live in
It's like,
California, right?
what's that?
You live in California, right?
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
So you
And
should be very often here in Mexico. Do you enjoy the Mexican culture? Do you have some Mexican friends? Do you speak Spanish?
oh, dude, my grandmother was married to a Mexican man. So was my mom. Uh, my wife, my fiance is Mexican. Uh,
Good.
I'm obsessed with. I mean, dude, I grew up in North India. My whole trip is La Brown Eyes, baby. I fucking love it, dude. And this to me is the perfect fit. I'm one of those white boys that feels like he was born in the wrong country sometimes. You know what I mean? I love Mexico, dude.
You will love Guadalajara because I think it's the more Mexican city in Mexico. You know,
Really,
we have mariachi and tequila and all those spicy food here in Guadalajara.
well, the food is Guadalajara is a place I've been meaning to come to. Because when you grow up here, you hear about it all the time, and but getting to go there not as a vacation tourist, but to go there to play rock and roll, to entertain the people that I love, this is the goal. You know what I mean? This is like the dream.
Well,
To
tell
get
me,
to go to Mexico and shake my dick in front of some of the hottest women in the world, yeah, I'll take it, dude. I'll take it any day of the week.
cool. Well, after all these years, it's almost 25 years since the beginning of the Eagles of Death Metal. Tell me how this partnership with you and Josh Hum worked so well after so many years.
You know, I really appreciate that question, because our friendship is one of my proudest accomplishments. And I'm really appreciate that question because our friendship has only grown. It's only gotten deeper. He's my brother. Like he, from the minute we first met, he's looked out for me. You know what I mean? He stopped bullies from picking on me. He's always had this soft spot for me. But then over the years in rock and roll, we've both gone through a lot, and it's been fortunate that we've had each other. Because if I didn't have Joshua, you know, quite frankly, I don't know what I would have done in a lot of situations. He's the best friend I've ever had in my life, and I love that man more than I love almost anybody. And I think it comes from the fact that we're both redheads. We both like the same types of music initially, and we both think the same things are stupid.
Well, you love rock and roll, but your last original album is almost a decade since its release. When do you plan to working in a new rock and roll songs?
Well, we're way ahead of you on that one. Uh, Joshua and I've had the new Eagles album written for about 3 years. So we started recording that, and we should be finished before the summer. We just take our time. Another one of the beautiful things of Eagles of Death Metal, like we I've always sort of looked at us like Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. You know,
Yes.
you, we're a rock and roll band for the sake of rock and roll, a fun band for the sake of fun. You know, we're not trying to tell anyone who to vote for. We're not trying to tell anyone or make anyone feel ashamed of anything. We're just here to. It's like the Special Forces or the classics of rock and roll. That's kind of how I look at the Eagles of Death Metal. So, but you know what? When I get to Guadalajara, you and I are going to sit down and I'm going to play you some of the new Eagles songs.
Yeah, that's a plan. It's a promise.
That's a promise. That's a solemn promise, and I'm a man of my word. And I always like to do follow-ups whenever I do interviews, because I'm already liking this interview. You've already asked me awesome questions, so I love you immediately, dude. So I think that it's a natural thing for us to have like a follow-up, and we're going to sit down and listen to the new Eagles music.
Well, that's a promise. We have a plan now for the festival at
That's a promise, dude. That's a plan, baby.
And tell me, the last one was a covers album. What another songs could you perform in a tentative second part of this covers album? What other bands should be nice to cover with the Eagles of Death Metal
Oh,
song?
I fucking love you, dude. Thank you for these questions. These are awesome questions. I've already started working on my next covers record, because, you know, I almost don't look at it like covers. I kind of look at it like Eagles of Death Metal is a cover band. We just changed the words. You know what I mean? But I like to do songs you're not supposed to be able to do. That's why I did Mary J. Blige. Like, a white boy like me is not supposed to be able to do Mary J. Blige, but I did it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
That's why I sing every night on my Instagram live. I take a request. I sing whatever song anybody throws at me, and I use pre-recorded karaoke music, and I'll fucking sing it. So you know what? When I come to Mexico, here's my second promise. I'm going to do my live karaoke from Guadalajara, and we're going to pick out the new songs for the cover album.
Some Mexican songs.
Well, you know, I actually do La Puerta Negra by Los Tigres del Norte.
Really?
Yeah.
You like that kind of music?
I do, dude. I grew up in Southern California. I grew up in Indio, California. So, and I worked on farms, and bomba music, I started listening to it, and I was 19 the first time I saw Los Tigres del Norte. It was one of the best experiences. It was so badass. It's almost like punk rock to me. It's like polka punk rock, dude. Like gangster polka punk rock, and they all wear awesome boots.
Cool. You said one of your greatest idols in music is Little Richard, who died, a couple of years ago. And he was a pillar of rock, a genre that many insist is dead. What do you think of that?
Do I believe rock is dying? You know, that's an interesting question. I almost feel like, in a way, rock and roll is kind of like the never-ending story. As long as one person believes, it's alive. You know what I mean? And the amount of times that rock has been declared to be dead and not dead, but rock and roll has to go through a process. It'll eventually, you have to have the belief in it, and you also have to have the right. I don't think it's dead. I think I think rock right now is planning its counterattack.
Really?
That's what I think. And you can see the writings on the wall. If rock was dead, there could be no band like the Struts. There could be no Luke Spiller if rock was dead. You know what I mean? There could be no Hives. Rock is alive and well. But have you ever had like a friend that when you were a kid, you had a friend and they had a grandparent, and when you grow up, you show up and the grandparent's still alive, and you're like, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead." You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
That's rock and roll sometimes, and I'm not necessarily saying that it's what it is now, but as long as I'm alive, so is rock.
Cool. Well, tell me, did you speak Spanish? You're
Habla poquito español, poco, like just a little.
como que aprendiste a decir?
I know how to say like really stupid stuff too. You know what I mean? Like, soy el diablo, dame tu alma, por favor. You know, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, about rock and roll. Do you really believe rock and roll and this kind of music made you a better person?
Without a doubt, my friend, without any doubt. It's it's afforded me opportunity. It's put me in situations that have forced me to come to terms with my own shortcomings. It's put me because rock and roll is such a dangerous place. Show business in general is such a dangerous place for your soul, for your life, that it forced me to call upon my best characteristics. It really showed me a great appreciation for my mother. I
Really?
so many times I'm able to go, thank God I had such a great mom, or else I might be doing something different right now. Ironically, rock and roll has given me a multitude of choices that I've been able to make choices that have made me a better person. And then also, you can't deny the uniqueness of my experience. When you have a band like Eagles of Death Metal, and we've been in terrorist attacks, you know what I mean? Like we've gone through things that most bands won't go through, and I've learned and gained experiences that no one could ever have gained in any other circumstance. And I've seen beauty. I'll even get emotional, dude, but I've seen beauty that's almost impossible to even fathom. You could say about the attack in Paris that we went through that I saw the worst of people, but in reality, I saw the best of people, and I was given an opportunity to be the best that I'd been. That's the way it is to me. Anything's kind of how you look at it, but then to a certain degree, it's actually only how it is. And so I've seen things that I would never have ever been able to see. And I've been a part of things that I've shared experiences with people that I would never have had. And I think almost exclusively my mother and the experiences of rock and roll have made me a better person. Absolutely.
Well, that's great to hear. Jesse, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, brother. And remember, you and I got a rock and roll date. We got some stuff to listen to.
It's a promise, huh? I will remember.
Oh, I ain't gonna forget, baby. And go to my Instagram live tonight, and I'll sing La Puerta Negra for you.
Okay, another promise. We have 3 promises.
2, 2.
Take care. Drive safe.
Thank you, brother.
Goodbye.
See you soon, dude.
Adios.